in Dania.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy Friday, happy Christmas weekend, and most of all, happy Festivus. We are coming to you live on the Lunchbox today. It's our Friday editions from Gulfstream Park. I'm in a giddy mood. I mean, it is the holiday weekend, and we're kicking it off here at a place that me and Defo would rather be no place else. Lubie, I'm not sure about. How are you doing today, Jeff Defo DeForest?
Well, I made it down here. That was good. The traffic was a lot lighter than I thought it would be for a pre-Christmas.
You didn't take
Friday.
any wrong turns. You now know the
once
traffic
I
flow.
got used to that whole thing, it wasn't as bizarre, in terms of not being marked, the express lane entrance. I guess the construction had kind of gotten out of that area there, but I was never going to make that mistake again because maybe one of the last roads you want to be on the Friday before Christmas is the one that leads to the Aventura Mall.
Oh, God, that's the
here
worst
in
place
South
to be
Florida,
right
Sterry
now.
Road. Yeah. You may as well be behind a wall of horses there with no shot and no room to get through, even though you got a handful of horse. But I was thinking about all the different trips I made down here to Gulfstream over the years.
I just want to interrupt you with the three places I would least like to be today. One is in the parking lot of the Aventura Mall.
Sawgrass Mall.
Yeah.
One
or
is
a sales clerk.
One
Sawgrass
is
Mall.
in any, I guess, departure wing of LaGuardia or Kennedy or Newark airports today.
Any airport.
Or
yeah.
any
You could be in
airport
North
the
Dakota and it wouldn't be
continental
pleasant today,
States today. And then maybe I wouldn't want to be in the locker room chair of the Jets' Zach Wilson today because I don't think he's going to have a job for much longer. He benched himself.
We were talking about, if there was a case on the People's Court, it would be titled "Stuck with a Stiff," which is usually the position the Jets find themselves in. But you couldn't be saddled with a bigger stiff than this kid looks like, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, there's still a chance for improvement there. We've seen horses that come out and stink to join out at 2 and 3 and somehow develop at 4, although that's not that common. But doesn't look good for the Jets and Zach Wilson.
Well,
in the
I mean,
future.
first of all, it's incredible the change of fortunes that here we are, the Dolphins, a team that have lost 3 straight. They look like they're in their usual December swoon, and yet they could still clinch a playoff spot because the Jets lost. And if the Patriots lose tomorrow,
I think
they're already in before the Sunday game against the Packers. Is that how
there's
it
a good
works?
chance the Pats lose too. I mean, they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, who've been hot.
Bengals need wins.
Although not overwhelmingly impressive, even though they ran away eventually from Tampa Bay. They were getting slaughtered in the first half of that game and looked like absolute garbage. Almost said something that rhymes with zit. But in front of their new 95,000 strong Let's Eat South Floridians.
Yeah, I think
we don't want to curse.
We're about to cross the I-95 threshold on the Let's Eat South Florida group. We were at 94.9 this morning, and then I don't know what we do in celebration. Like, it's become ho-hum every 1,000, but like the 5,000 and the 10,000, well, obviously.
I signed up and you had 6, and that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping for, the same growth with the Lunchbox. We're going to get more and more people on board. I picked up my Feast of the Seven Fishes provisions early this morning, 7 a.m. at Delaware
All right, what
Seafood
7
Market.
fish do you have, man?
Well, I'm going
Calamari,
to get into that in a second, but that's tomorrow night for Christmas Eve. But Jose, the seafood manager there at Delaware Seafood Market.
He gave you a free fish?
No, he's been a long time acquaintance. I've known him since I was at the paper, and he's interested in maybe they're coming on board and being
Well, he
sponsors.
should.
Oh,
Absolutely.
We need a seafood purveyor
Did
Did you
sponsor.
give him the gold seal package that we only make available to our best of friends?
The media kit.
See, you're learning, right? I remember in the beginning you were a little arrogant about this stuff.
Media kit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll give him the special.
Now it's like, here you go. I got a deal for you.
But all right, the 7 fishes. Michelle is off the disabled list. She was also under the weather earlier this week.
Goodness.
I was a little touch and go. I didn't know whether she was going to be cooking or whether I was going to have to make the late audible and make the phone call to Joe C. up in Delray to try to squeeze my way into his Christmas Eve feast where he's got the spaghetti with lobster
He's
sauce.
made massive preparations.
Tom
this guy.
T is, I think, going to be working and serving at Nobo Brewing, and he's
Nice.
doing a little Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Nice.
But, okay, I got my 7 fishes today. It was in order of courses. We've got the smoked marlin fish dip as course number one
Nice.
with
All right,
crackers.
that counts. All right.
Yeah, this counts. Michelle feels
Fish
a little
dip.
lazy.
All right.
And then we've got stone crabs. Then we're
Stone
go-
crabs. Nice.
Then we're going to have grilled jumbo
Now
prawns.
you were buying, so I'm assuming these were the smallest.
And this is going to be a
miniature
Price is
stone
Right.
crabs.
This is going to be a Price is Right where I'm going to give you last year's total was, I'm not even going to give it to you, but let's just say inflation has kicked in and is noticeable with all products. But this was
All right. So what do you got so far?
So a pound of fish dip,
Okay.
6 large stone crabs, which weighed 1.44 pounds.
Ooh.
We've got 2 live Maine lobsters, each weighing about 1 3/4 pounds. It was 3. It was about
Impressive.
3.
Now, who's getting left out on that? If there is the three of you,
No,
your daughter,
what
and
she
your
does
wife.
is she steams them up,
and then carves them up.
deshells
Yeah,
them,
okay.
and then puts them in her. She's also making fresh pasta with a lobster
nice.
sauce and clams. We got a basket of clams, lobster, stone crab, fish dip, grilled jumbo prawns. That's 5.
Oh, those are nice.
We got seared sea scallops, the dry sea scallops.
Beautiful.
That's 6.
And a grouper.
Oh, you know what? No, we got some snapper fillets, but she's making a crudo out of that. So that's one of the opening dishes.
All right.
Fish dip, crudo, stone crab, grilled prawns,
You
seared
didn't give us all of the
scallops.
quantities, but I'm going to take a guess.
So it was
Total
about.
time, $286.
Oh, you are slightly over on the prices,
I
right?
was gonna
Mike
say
Lubie Lubitz.
239.
Well, of course, you go lower.
I know. I didn't
In
tell you
between.
to say that.
263
Oh, wow.
was the grand
I think
total.
we did a good job.
Yeah,
guessing
And
on
that
one.
actually
Yeah.
included 1 pound for $3 worth of beef fat, beef tallow, which isn't for the Feast of the Seven Fishes. It's for her Christmas Day feast, where she is making Yorkshire pudding
Ooh.
for her boss, who's a Briton,
Brit.
originally from the fine land of
Now, do
England.
you eat all of this? I mean, you have a little bit of
Absolutely.
everything?
Every bit.
Wow.
And then there's leftovers for my mom and, for other assorted family and friends. So it's going to be a great feast. Nothing to complain about there. And
You
and
should
what-
be complaining. I'll tell you what's amazing about this audience, and this is overwhelmingly impressive to me. I have been running contests on the radio for the last, it actually goes beyond my time here in Florida, because I used to give away a bunch of Dodger tickets on a show I had out in California. I can't believe, because when I first heard you explaining what this contest was all about, that we have going with Gulfstream Park, I thought
here,
we
I'll
would be
post it
fired
up
by
there
Dave Joseph on
for
the spot,
everyone to
because
see.
nobody could understand it. I couldn't even figure out what you were asking for. And I knew what the contest was, and I knew the answers, except for the winning horse. But 7 people were in a dead heat
Yeah,
last week
and-
with the
and
winning
I
entry
know
of Burton Jacks and the winning horse and the
whole
Saturday
concept
feature.
of this was to blend the worlds of food,
Beautiful
restaurants,
job.
and
Yes.
horse racing.
Yes.
And where people
You're
didn't have
blending
to
it.
necessarily know anything about a horse, from whether it's a mane or a tail, or what a thoroughbred, or what a turf
Which is
racer.
kind of what we're doing
And-
with our racing forms
Yes,
here
we got
today.
our racing.
Very
but-
thin edition, only a
but
few tracks going.
I give the fine folks, the members of Let's Eat South Florida, they get it. They're smart, they're sharp, they're intelligent. They know what
Yes.
they're doing with food, and they know apparently how to pick a number between 1 and 15 or whatever, depending on the week, or how to read a form, a racing form, or the Equibase entries for those, or a lot of people who actually
There
gave
was
the
some
name of the
handicapping
horse.
going on, yeah.
There was handicapping going
All right.
on, and again, because I put the clues up on a separate post on Let's Eat South Florida, which I'll do later today again. But it's better to get the early jump on it and get your entries
Yes.
in now. And again, it's a
Destination's
two-part
there.
equation, which is answer the question about it's a
Well, we're going to
restaurant
give 4
trivia.
clues,
We're going
right?
to give
We're gonna
clues
give
throughout
4
the show.
clues.
Okay.
So yeah, something somewhere in the
The
neighborhood
very
of
obvious
3,
clues
4,
so
and we're going to
far.
start now. And then once you send in your I guess your answer to the restaurant question, you're also going to pick a horse that's going to be running in tomorrow's the
feature race. but
feature
what
race,
number
which is
that?
the 8th race
8th.
tomorrow, Saturday's Christmas Eve card at Gulfstream. It's called the Janus Stakes. It's for maybe it's called the Janus. It's Janus.
It's
I
Janice.
don't want to
And how-
pronounce that
it's
in any
Janice,
way.
It's Janice. And how many
Janus.
horses are in
Okay.
it? In the
Well,
field?
there's actually, it's scheduled to take place 5 furlongs on the turf. There's a full field of 12 entrants
Oh,
and then
it is gonna be
4
tough.
also eligible.
Jesus.
Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
So you're going to be picking a number between 1 and 16.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And the rules are, if one of those also eligibles don't run in the race, then you automatically get the post-time favorite.
All right.
Which maybe not such a bad play.
Not a bad angle. Yeah.
Not a bad angle. Go 13,
So far
14,
for us, it's
15,
worked out.
16.
The
Last week it
favorites
was the
haven't won.
same thing. The race got taken off the turf, switched to their Tapeta track, which is a surface that's not quite dirt, not quite turf. I don't know what it is, but there was a couple of scratches. There was one of the also eligible. This is all getting into
Don't make
weeds.
it too complicated.
Yeah,
for the
you just lost
average
me totally.
guy that
I
has
totally
no
got
idea
lost.
what you're talking about here, Mike.
Answer the restaurant question. Pick a number
and then take a
between
number
1 and
between
16.
1 and 16, and boom.
That's it.
We'll
Send
let you
it
know
to
if you
Mike
won.
Mayo
We
Eats.
won't cheat you.
The
How about
deadline
that?
is Saturday at noon. And are you ready for the first clue?
Yes.
Jeff
No,
Defo
but
to Forrest?
the prize would be, I think, the
I'm
real
ready.
Oh, okay. We
you
do
know,
have
consideration
to talk about
here
that, yes.
because that buffet for two at 10 Palms is a sensational prize. And it makes for, even if you didn't even get up your chair and make one single bet, it would be a fantastic day just to enjoy yourself out here at
What's
the track.
interesting is the way Joe is the food and beverage manager here.
Yeah.
So Joe is the one where the last buck falls.
And this guy's off the chart from what I've seen.
Well,
so
no,
far.
he's amazing. But what he said, which is not something that most brunch, especially brunch buffets, they usually do this thing about 2 hours. They have this weird 2 hour limit. Now, again, they don't.
You've been here too long. The old Chinese
they're
buffet
not
thing.
watching your clock. But if you're there for a few hours, they'll kick you out. This place, Joe's like, yeah, what my friends do, and he's owned this, is they'll come, they'll have breakfast, they'll hang, they'll have lunch, they'll hang. And this is Joe who said this,
Well,
by the way.
it's for
And
the
then they'll have
racing. You know, they want
early
people to
dinner.
hang out and bet
So you can
and
be here all
linger
day.
and drink. You know, and it's a Sunday brunch, so you could probably get here about, I'm guessing
Yeah,
about
11.
11 o'clock. They'll
Yep.
open the doors. You can get your omelets and your, juices, and it
Yep.
comes included this prize package with one mimosa each. So you do
Yes.
get that first mimosa on the house along with tax and tip included. And then if you want to spend for any additional alcohol, that's going to be on you.
Yeah, that's you.
And if you get good service, please feel free to tip additionally more on top of what Gulfstream
Some
is
tip
going
is
to cover.
included, but
But it's basically it's going to be a nice way to spend the day.
In other words,
You're
don't embarrass us by getting the freebie
Please,
and
please
skipping
don't
the
snore.
service, please.
Well, Gulfstream is covering the basic part of the service.
can
You don't
tell
have to
people
give
that.
any and more for service. But if you are
But-
drinking all
Throw
day,
another 20
then
under
you're
the pile.
gonna
Come on.
throw.
you
well,
have 3 meals.
yeah, well, you could. It's going to be a nice day. Again, it's going to be redeemable for those who win any Sunday except for Christmas Day. They're closed. Gulfstream is dark this Christmas
All right.
Day. They're reopening on Monday for the first day of their
By the way, in the background, they're going in
Premier
the gate here.
rent.
Oh,
I
you
have
can
it
hear it.
right
I
in
know.
front of me.
You weren't here
I know
last
you
week.
have action. I have action.
I
I'm
will
going
not
to be a
have
professional. I'm not going to get all wrapped up
I
in
need
the
the
fact
eight
that
ball in this one.
I need the 1, 9, and 10 desperately in
Eight
this
ball,
race.
all the way. man.
And I've got my buddy that has the 3 horses. He's assistant trainer, first time gelding. So I'm going to be rooting for that. All right. So again,
What's the clue?
the first clue
Wow.
for the contest?
This is to figure
so-
out what the restaurant is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is going to be a little bit tricky, but all right. This restaurant in the 305 was the first one that I ever awarded the top rating of 4 stars when
Wow.
I was the restaurant critic for the South Florida Sun Sentinel,
Okay.
and it was also nominated by the James Beard Foundation as the best new restaurant in the U.S. It was one of the 30 nominees in the best new restaurant category in the 2017 James Beard Awards. I awarded it 4 stars in the fall of 2016.
What were you doing in a classy joint like that, man?
Reviewing
From what we know of
Who's
you
getting
now.
paid?
eating on someone else's dime.
Yeah,
the
that's
fine
good,
folks
man.
at the Sun
Were you
Sentinel.
wearing a jacket, a sports jacket when you went in there?
No, actually, this place it was the epitome of the new age of restaurant, where
Dressed
very
nice, dressed
elevated
Casual, yeah.
food, but in a casual
I like that.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
It was in one of those trendy places where there may be walls next door. That's
It's always
a little bit of a
embarrassing
hint.
when they put like the master's jacket on you and it's like 10 sizes too big.
Yep.
When you go into some place in
when
New
you,
York
when you
and they
have to get the
mandated
jacket.
jackets, but there was no allusion to that fact anywhere. And this was
Thankfully, we
predating the
live in
internet.
Florida,
Yeah.
and really, jackets required anywhere. Like when I first came down here in the
Required?
80s,
Maybe.
there were a few places.
Hillsborough Country Club.
Hillsborough Country Club.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
the general public can't just go in
I
there
went
and
to
dine.
actually a friend of ours, a business associate of my wife. They live in the Polo Club somewhere in like Wellington.
Yeah. I've been out there. They
And
had a golf
do
course.
these-
I used
they
to-
have this clubhouse where they do these dinners that are freaking ridiculous. Literally, the one we went to had unlimited, all you can eat lobster.
How about the look the maitre d' gives you too
And
when
you
you
had
get
to
up
wear
to
a
the front
jacket
desk
there.
there and you're
You had to
dressed
wear a
like a
jacket.
schlepper?
Oh yeah, no,
You know.
I usually overdress.
They
but
look
yes.
at you like you just stepped up to, the Blue Monster there in a tank top and cut off shorts. And you ask if you could tee off right after Raymond Floyd.
So we, and here, it used to be at racetracks, you'd have clubhouse
Dress it
would
all nicer.
require jackets
Yeah.
also, but that's not the case at 10 Palms. So
No.
if you do happen to win these tickets. And the way it works is once the race is run tomorrow, and if there's more than one winner in terms of more than one person who got the correct answer to the questions, the clue of the restaurant, and then also gets the winning
I hope
horse
this
and
one gets
number
mowed down
tomorrow.
right away. I hate
People
to
being
get
here
then
on track
we
is
will have a tiebreaker where we draw names and
From a hat,
out of a hat
Yes.
on Monday's show, and Monday will be Boxing Day. I have
Yes.
no idea what's going on in the race. I'm
the
about
one's
10
going to win it, but I need to
Defo
see
is
it to pick them
Got
up.
watching
10
it
seconds
way
There's not enough room.
intently.
I don't need the.
I
Is the
love
one
the
going to
eight
win?
hole, or the
All
Honestly,
right.
you're watching
He's
on your
so
phone.
bad.
He's watching
Is
it
that the
there.
favorite? This is
The favorite
like
one.
What
this
a
is like putting
disaster.
Skyline Chili in front of me during a show.
I didn't want the horse to win. I
And
needed the 8 for my
This is like
lunch.
having a Florida State game there.
We
and I'm
got the
supposed to be doing a
chalk.
show.
So I'm
Was
out
it
of that.
6-5, 8-5? What was it?
It doesn't matter. 8 to 5. Yeah.
8-5.
You
All right,
won
I'm
for
alive in a $5 double, and that's how
good
we
for
like
you.
to
All
start
right.
here.
Good. Wonderful.
And
I lost everything.
you lost everything, including your mind. But no, this is
Did he
this
ever
time
have
of
his
year. We're all like spending, too much money on gifts, too much money on food.
Yes,
We're
yes.
gambling a lot,
Yes.
drinking too much. But that's why God invented credit cards and
I don't think God invented
and
credit
and
cards.
And Fugazi loans and,
and-
FTX.
FTX.
There's always a way to make
Yes.
billions.
Definitely
It may go quickly, once they discover, the
quitting while you're
unfortunate trail
ahead
of capital,
is
yeah.
not
Not
quitting,
the
as
same.
you say.
Exactly. This Bankman
Uh,
Fried should have been in Venezuela by now.
So we are out here, and I hope everybody can
are.
enjoy it. The sun is shining. It
What,
was a
what,
little
what
bit
was
rainy.
this clue again? What was
Okay.
this now?
So this restaurant,
You reviewed it, gave it 4
It was the
stars.
this
first
restaurant in the 305 was the first restaurant I ever awarded my top rating of 4 stars when I was the restaurant critic for the South Florida Sun Sentinel in 2016, and it was also nominated by the James Beard Foundation as the best new restaurant in America in their awards for 2017. It was one of 30 nominees of one of 30 restaurants around the country that got that best new restaurant nomination.
Nice.
So that's
All
the
right,
first
that's clue
clue.
number 1.
That's clue number 1, and we'll come back to it later. And if you know the answer already and want to pick a number between 1 and 16,
Sure,
or look
email
up the
me now.
entries for tomorrow's 8th race at Gulfstream, the Janus Stakes at 5 furlongs on the turf, scheduled for the turf now. Again, just send it in to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, and you'll be entered in this week's contest. Previous 2 winners, congratulations to Ira Rubin and Andrew Peters. I don't know if you know that Andrew
of course we
Peters.
know
guy.
Andrew
Andy, yeah,
Tivoli,
yeah.
Andrew Peters.
And he won it, man. That's pretty
He
good.
won the
Handyman,
first week.
first
He
win.
nailed
Good for
it.
him.
And he won the 2-way shake. Only 2 people had the winner.
Or
in the
maybe he'll
opening week.
invite one of us out for the buffet there.
I don't think that
I'd rather
needs
take
to
a
be
lady
By
done.
the way, where
but-
is this freezing cold front?
Yeah, I
As
keep,
we
Tomorrow.
sit here, and
Tomorrow.
I'm starting to schwitz a little bit here out
And
in
we're
the
going
sun.
to shift the table a
every
little. So we're in the
day
sun, which is
they
not my
keep
dream,
saying, "Oh, the cold front's coming." The cold front.
tomorrow.
And it's like I keep my cranking my AC
The
higher. and
weatherman
higher.
was wearing a dead iguana around his neck
It's
as he was delivering the forecast.
And they were talking about it last week, and I was saying, it's like, where is it already? And the weather doesn't know what it wants to do. Every 2 seconds,
Well,
it's
we're
either
hoping
hot
a
and
cloud
humid,
pops out so we
it's
can get a break
raining,
from the sun.
It
It's
feels
80
like it's
degrees
going
out
to
here.
get cold, and then it doesn't get cold. But apparently, the rest of the country is.
Let's turn our
looking at
attention to
very
Tampa
cold.
Bay, too.
Wait,
while we're out
hold on one
Yeah.
second. I just got to say that the first 2 winners are not eligible to win again for
here. Oh, really?
90,
90
days.
days.
Who
That's
came
the
up
rules.
with that? You?
We did.
Yeah,
All right.
so basically, this promo is going to be going for 4 months. So the first couple of winners won't be able to win again until the closing weeks of the Gulfstream Championship meet, concluding with the brilliant Florida Derby on Saturday, April 1st. No fooling. So we're going to be running the contest through that Friday before, and I think it will be redeemable, somewhat after the races, because 10 Palms is still open through the spring. So,
Oh, yeah. No, it's a
yeah.
great spot.
So-
I love hanging out up there.
So that's it. That's the beginning of this week's contest. And it's Festivus, gentlemen. And I think it's only time, I threw it up on the Facebook group this morning that today is the day for the airing of grievances. Of course, Festivus, one of my favorite
We
holidays.
only have like 40 minutes left, though.
and we
So
only
if
really
you go
got
first.
we only
We may
got
as well
10
just go
because
see
we
that
got-
Tampa race.
we got Joe Beja, the director of food and beverage, is coming down with some more
Oh, yeah?
beautiful
Oh, that's
new
good.
items from 10 Palms
I
Restaurant.
like that.
At Gulfstream, and last week he hit us with that deconstructed onion soup.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that.
That was
Lubie
great.
loved it. Got the corned beef, the Reuben sandwich. That was
Churrasco.
solid. and then the churrasco steak with the chimichurri.
Yeah,
I've been eating a lot of red meat on the lunchbox lately. I'm a little
not gonna say
concerned.
no.
My colon is starting to scream at me, but
Yeah.
it's all good. I got
They've taken racetrack food though to a new culinary level here at Gulfstream. I know there was this opinion in the game that you had to get away from being completely old school, and if you are old school, you can still get a beer and a hot dog and a burger and a slice of pizza and all of that. But it's really much better than you would have thought. The typical racetrack stadium type of food is. They've gotten very sort of exotic in that regard, and yet at reasonable prices. So
Yeah.
you really have to dig what they're doing here at Gulfstream Park from
it's
a
the way of the
culinary
world. The
standpoint.
whole world has gotten elevated in terms of food consumption. I mean, certainly in the United States, once the Food Network came along and everybody and their brother wanted to become, beat Bobby Flay and all that, and everybody started cooking more at home using better ingredients. And when they went out, whether it's a restaurant and fine dining on Las Olas like we hit yesterday on the Barry's Grill, or just coming out to a sports arena or a racetrack, they expect more, and they'll get more here at Gulfstream with 10 Palms.
No, that's a pleasure. I mean, if you can't find something that you like here, then there's just something wrong.
Yeah, no, and now,
and in a confined, relatively small area, you have a ton of variety.
And they have on track here. They have some of these concession stands where Joe provided the first week when we got those new bowls.
Those bowls were
Asian
great.
bowls. That chicken one with the
I
little
could go for another one.
sweet spicy chili sauce on top of that chicken bowl with the rice. That was an excellent meal.
Very nice.
And then, of course, Gulfstream Village is right outside. I mean, that's for maybe not the hardcore racetrackers because we want to be here seeing the action all day and betting the action all day. But, out in Gulfstream Village, there's other options for those if the people in your lives are out shopping at some of the stores that they have here at Gulfstream Village. And, and I also came, with my buddies last Saturday. We didn't make it up to 10 pounds. It was just kind of a quick hit, but we went to Christine Lee's, and me, I love their ribs. The spare ribs at Christine Lee's is one of
It used to be a lot of kind of quaint local joints around here. Now Nick's has been closed. It seems like for 10 years, and it's
the
never
one on Hallandale Beach Boulevard.
It's never become anything else. Yeah,
it tried for about 2 seconds to become a Cajun place last year, and
that didn't work.
Failed. Yeah,
it's Nick Gianos was the proprietor there, and he was a horseman. And so a lot of people from the track naturally gravitated over to his place, and it had an excellent breakfast, as I recall. Then there was a Greek restaurant on the corner of Hallandale Beach Boulevard. It was a southwest corner. And I don't know if that's still going.
That's gone.
And then there's a diner, what is that?
The Flashback Diner.
There.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of things up and down Hallandale Beach Boulevard. It's become, as we talked with Neki Mohan yesterday, everything under the sun, everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun.
Like we are.
There's places,
frying under the sun.
Besides the typical pizza and Italian and the 2J's Deli. I don't know if that's still on Hallandale, if that one closed too. But now you've got also South American places. There's a Georgian restaurant, not Georgia, the state of Atlanta, but Georgia,
like
the former Soviet Republic, and where they got those khachapuris, which is kind of like a calzone. It's like a cheese bread, stuffed bread thing topped with an egg. There's a Georgian place down there on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. There's all kinds of, obviously, the Mexicans and the Cuban. The Padrinos is on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. No more Moneros. That was our first contest.
I think the original Padrinos, which is an outstanding Cuban restaurant that a lot of people consider, I guess they've expanded to multiple locations. I'm not sure if they still have the same ownership, but they were on Pembroke Road. Not far from here. And I used to, when I was working here on a regular basis out here every day, it was not uncommon to get the call before I was leaving from the wife at the time. This was wife number one to say, hey, stop at Padrino's.
Pick up a little ropa vieja or the I love those pounded chicken, where with the onions on top.
And then also on Pembroke Road was the Hunan Kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, Hunan Kitchen.
And that was owned by a degenerate gambler. I think he sold the place years ago. I'm not sure if it's still called that Hunan Kitchen, but
Hunan Garden,
something like that.
Yeah,
and it was a pretty good Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, no. And then right up the road was Eddie Hill's. It started as an American diner and then morphed somehow into a breakfast diner with eggs and omelets, and then a sushi and Thai place by day
Natural
and night.
transition.
And now it's just strictly Eddie Hill's Sushi Thai. That's been there a long time. So all kinds of good stuff around the Hallandale Beach area. And, of course, better yet, come spend the day at the races and enjoy yourself all day at 10 Palms, eating and drinking and wagering a little bit too. Hey, we got a couple of minutes coming up to that first at Tampa, which
I'm
I've taken
desperate
an
now. I need
entrance
you.
to.
I hope that old man
Me
wasn't
and
some
you
senile,
well,
disease
this-
afflicted, mentally decrepit individual that gave you this tip horse.
Oh, why do you have to do that? I mean, this is a very nice gentleman I met at the bar, Tropical
How do you know?
Acres,
How do you
one
know he
of our
wasn't a
best
nut?
sponsors. And that leads me into Tropical Acres going into this Christmas weekend.
Well, this will really make them a winner if this horse comes
So I
through.
ran into a guy at the bar, fine older gentleman, who has a bunch of kids who actually went to high school with my friend Poker Dan. But this older gentleman, I believe his name was Paul. He's like in his 80s. We were having the great happy hour at Tropical Acres on Monday night, enjoying those half-price drinks. I got a pork chop for the first time from the main menu. They were having some of those good, fairly priced appetizers at the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. And he said, I have a horse that's going to be running at Tampa on Friday. He's part of the ownership group. He says, not sure he should be the best animal in the field. I would prefer if he's be cutting back a little bit, but I'm going to give it to you. And I was all right. I said, I'll wager a little bit. So I got my $5.
I don't think you gave me all those qualifiers before I plunged on this thing.
I didn't tell you to plunge.
I don't know if he can
I
run.
said it's worth a little
that
wager. I got a
plunge.
$5 win place, a little nothing thing. And you, of
$5.
course, you've jumped in head first into the pool with no water, but that's okay.
That's what Defo
And,
does.
I got my sneakers on too. I mean, that's the worst.
You've
part.
got your
Yeah.
open foot, broken toe sandal
Yeah,
on.
the broken
jumping
toe
into
is
the pool.
really, just an annoying injury.
Yeah, it seems like you're a little bit.
Seems like you
it
should
seems
be
like
fine.
you've got your Festivus gripe, which is the people
I
at
have no
Atlantis.
gripe. I can't complain.
Atlantis.
All right, let me
what am I gonna complain about?
just wrap up. So, Tropical Acres, they're going to be closed for Christmas Eve tomorrow. Open Christmas Day on Sunday, but I think they are fully reserved. But you can try to walk in there on Sunday from 1 to 8 p.m. For their Christmas dinner specialties. Along, they have the usual prime rib and steaks. They also have holiday ham and turkey. And then next week they're going to be open on New Year's Eve, closed on New Year's Day, the Sunday, and then it's back to their usual routine, which is open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Closed on Sundays, half-price wine Monday, Tuesday, happy hour on the bar every night, 4:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. You got the early bird special, the first hour in the dining room, and you've got the loyalty reward club card. Every 12 entrees you buy, you get the 13th for free. Great service, great atmosphere, great quality, great value. Tropical Acres, the Studio Alley family. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
I like it, man. You went Bubba Gump Shrimp Company on the Seven Fishes, man. You got shrimp cocktail.
They're going in
shrimp
the game
scampi,
at Tampa.
shrimp ravioli.
Let's take the break.
All right, well, let's take the break, and we'll watch this race and see if we have any money left when we come back on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studio Alley family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent.
Back on the Lunchbox, and we are licking our wounds here.
What a disaster.
What a disaster.
It's a glorious day at Gulfstream. I'm alive in the early
Don't let
double
old man
here,
lose your number.
but I still don't know how both me and Defo, veteran racetrack watchers and race watchers,
I thought we
the
got up.
Tampa
Defo
race,
watched it
the
inside.
6-horse was way back early, came closing like a monster,
Right.
looked like he was just going to inhale the field, and then he hooks up with the second place horse, and they start getting in this duel at the wire. Both me and you thought our 6-horse won clear by like half a
I
head.
high-fived the guy in there who also had the
And-
6.
High five Mayo.
Somehow it says that the 2-horse won and not the 6-horse. Now, luckily for me, I bet win place, so I got my money back. I hedged.
I got 0 on that.
Unluckily
I was
for
all
you,
in. Yeah.
and
And had he won, I would have rooted for the biggest bombs in the next 2 races because I had
you would have
all in a pick 3.
and you would have had to apologize to my friend that
No, I had
Tropical
faith in the
Acres.
guy until you started making all these qualifiers in relation to the story, where at
never
first
said
you
he was
said,
a
"Hey,
sure
a guy
thing."
gave me a horse that cannot lose."
I didn't say cannot
First race
lose.
at Tampa.
And it
Then
looked like
it was, well, he doesn't know. He was just recently gelded.
no,
and,
that's the first
the horse
race that
only
was
has
here.
3 legs.
You're mixing it. You're
Horse
conflating the
only has
stories.
3
This story at Tampa was
The
horse
both
would-
stories were no good.
the horse would prefer a shorter distance. He would have liked him to cut back to 7 furlongs. He went a mile on the 16th, and boy, I thought he got there. But weird stuff. I want to see that photo.
I don't misjudge photos that
All right.
badly usually.
Back to the food. Back to the contest.
Yes.
It's time for clue number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, now the first clue was what?
First clue was this restaurant in the 305 was the first restaurant I awarded my top rating of 4 stars when I was the restaurant critic at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, and it is also nominated as best new restaurant in the country by the James Beard Foundation in 2017. That's the first clue.
Okay,
Okay.
right now I would have no idea, although
of
I have
course.
a guess
Well, of course,
to the owner. But
you are not going to have a clue what this restaurant is for 2 reasons. Number one, the restaurant still exists. It's still
Okay.
open. Number 2, it's down a very trendy part of Miami, and I don't think you do trendy much
I
anymore.
would not be inclined to head down
He
that way,
was
even
not.
under the most favorable of
Mr.
circumstances,
Trent.
i.e., a limo ride and somebody else picking up the tab.
Exactly.
I still might be inclined to pass on that.
There you go. All right. Well, clue number 2. Its name and pronunciation can be confusing, but it's not an institution of higher learning in the Bluegrass State.
Ooh, all
Ready
right.
again? I'm going to say that one more time.
Sure, please.
Or
You can say
probably
7
2 more
times.
times.
It won't do anything for
Its
me.
name and pronunciation can be confusing, but it's not an institution of higher learning in the Bluegrass State.
All right.
I'll say it again.
I have no idea. Good luck to you out there.
You know, the first clue was a lot, more on the mind. All right. So I still have no idea.
Of course
I
not.
have no idea.
You are not going to get this
no,
one. I know that.
I'm not even in the ballpark.
So
I
again,
thought the 6 won the last race at Tampa.
I did too. I
Swear.
would have staked
Did they
your
make that
life on it.
official? I mean, they
They
should have an
did, and
investigation.
I got to see the photo on that. That is so bizarre. Both me and you.
I think it's
thought it
already
was
been,
clear.
unless
Unless that wire was actually 10 yards earlier, and the angle of the whatever.
Wow.
Hey,
Holy
what did you
Richard
say?
Thunder.
One of your Festivus complaints is people who come up to you with their losing tickets and said, "I
100%.
thought."
Yeah, Defo does it.
I thought he had his nose down on the
usually you
wire
have,
first.
but I didn't do that. I didn't whip out my losing tickets
No,
here.
I'll whip out mine.
But I have a pocket full of them. Every single one that I purchased.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, we're here at Gulfstream. Any minute now, Joe Beja, the director of food and beverage from 10 Palms, is going to be bringing.
I'm hoping he has a beer with
tray.
him. I don't know.
I guess he's. I don't know what he could be
The beverage
surprising
stand's
us
right
with,
there.
and it's always a treat to again get feeded with some of the new dishes that have come up with here on the menu, and they're constantly changing and innovating. And last week, I love that onion ring soup. The onion.
What's
ring
with the
towel.
decomposing?
No.
I think of a body like out in
Deconstructed.
canal
Okay.
somewhere.
Tom T and you seem to confuse this word. It's not decomposing. You don't want your
There
food
wasn't a body
or
in the
your
Everglades.
bodies decomposing. Deconstructed
So
is
restaurant terminology here, man.
was
when you pull apart the components of a particular dish and you make them into something kind of creative and new. That's a deconstructed dish. So
deconstructed. Okay.
deconstructed dish.
It was
not
deconstructed.
decomposing.
They can't come up with a better, like more favorably sounding term for that.
I don't know.
Deconstructed is about the way it
I
is.
liked
It's
it.
just
I don't know.
it's
It was-
Deconstruction
the idea of
sounds like a
onion
team
soup-
that's about to tank.
I like some of these
Sounds like the
foodie
Sixers.
terms, and I hate the word foodie, but I use it now because
You are a foodie. There's no question.
eventually you have to embrace.
You're the head
Really,
foodie. Yeah.
after the way you see me eat Skyline
you're
chili, you would
disgusting,
call
and
me
I
a
No, but in
foodie,
an
but
intellectual
you are a
sense,
foodie.
you are. As a
Yes.
physical specimen, you're erect.
Yeah, it's a very weird combination. The way you talk about food, you're a foodie. The way
You're
you
a foodie,
eat it,
yeah.
All
you're
right, I
gross.
guess we're up to the airing of the grievances here, and I did want to
Sure.
give you two gentlemen a chance to air any grievances you want. Go ahead, Defo first. It could be about me or anything in
No, I
particular.
have no problems with any of you guys, man. You're all good guys, and
Yeah, I'm
it's a
good.
lot of fun doing the shows.
good.
I feel very fortunate. I just got my upgraded Social Security statement, and the government's going to be sending me about $3 a month, which is a nice head start.
Oh
on
yeah,
poverty.
big 8%,
Yeah,
8% cost of
it was
living
a couple of
increase.
$100. Like,
My mom
almost
is
three.
also in the same boat. She'll be getting an 8% boost.
And
Nice.
so I'm on the precipice of living my dream, where the $3 is almost enough to finance
to cover everything
my
you
weekly trips to the track.
need. All right. Well,
And so I am the proverbial old man cashing
see
my
Joe
Social
coming.
Security check.
all right, clear out this
Yeah.
water because Joe,
Everything's
the
cleared
man,
out.
is coming with a tray,
Oh, look at this.
and we're gonna have
We
him
gotta
drop
give him
it
a
in here.
microphone. We gotta
and we're
get
gonna
Joe
have
on air.
him-
Joe's great.
We've got Defo here this week. Hello, Joe. And then we've got
Joe.
some food coming.
man, that
Here,
smells
clear
good, man.
this out.
Look at
We're
these
gonna have
guys
Joe
like
sit right
seagulls.
here
They're
and
all over the
explain what we
front
got.
that he brought.
And
pasta.
ooh,
Oh,
I see a
Come on,
kind of
Defo's-
cheesy,
and
creamy
Mayo's hard.
pasta. It smells
Pasta.
good. I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, walking in today to the track,
Oh,
I got
shish
hit with
Smells
these
great, yeah.
odors and smells, and it had to be coming from 10 Palms.
Oh,
and I
nice,
just
man.
was saying, wow, Joe is really
I love how he
going
does
to
a
great
sandwich,
lengths.
too.
lengths.
He always
And the
he
kitchen
brings
there.
elevated,
is-
and then he
This
brings.
is sandwiches.
Now you've got your water here. We've
I
got
was
Joe
looking for.
here.
I'm looking for a beer. I'm going to
We've-
send Lubie to the.
We're
concession
gonna
stand.
have
Joe, this is you. Come
Lubie
on.
go to the concession stand and get. Why don't you drink the water? Before we get into Christmas Eve, and of course, Gulfstream is open Christmas Eve tomorrow, full day of racing, including our feature race, the Janus Stakes, which is part of our contest giveaway for 10 Palms, along restaurant question, which I'll give you the third clue when we get to the end of the segment and the food. But Gulfstream going to be closed this Sunday, so no Sunday brunch this Sunday, but then all the way up and through the Florida Derby, April 1st, this Saturday, Florida Derby, but there'll be brunch on April 2nd. that winners can still redeem.
Absolutely.
And also happy Festivus for the rest of us.
That's right.
Do you have any grievances that you'd like to air, Joe?
None.
None.
Man's
Okay.
living a dream. The only guy
happy
with
camper.
complaints is you, Mike Mayo. The
I still
last guy
can't
that
believe
should be
how we
complaining.
lost that
Look at
photo
your
at
job.
Tampa. I don't
You
understand
sit
that. but
here and they bring you like the greatest delicacies that they have that
Yes.
they prepare here.
I'm
what
very
do we
much
have,
enamored.
Joe?
What do we
'Cause-
got, Joe? Yeah.
Sure.
This is
Okay,
pretty
I'll
exotic
start with one of
stuff.
our newest appetizers. It's chicken kebab, obviously with the vegetables. We have a sweet soy glaze on that, and it's served with a chipotle avocado cream.
Nice.
So that is a
Can
new
everybody
item.
here see that in
And this is
video
available in
land
10
and
pops.
Yes.
the
Off the
live
menu?
stream
Okay.
lunchbox?
Our new
Wow.
menu at 10 Palms will go live on Monday. I know this is one of the new
So
items will be
revamp-
on the menu.
Nice.
So this is a
Excellent. I'm gonna kind of take
Please
plate,
do.
be
Yeah, you
like
should
a
take
human
the lead
being,
here.
and
please do.
I'm gonna swoop in here, and I'm gonna use my fingers because to me, things that are on a stick
Yep.
are finger
Yeah, that
food.
looks good.
Is it okay if I touch this stick?
do whatever
with
you
your
want, man. Do
fingers
whatever
for
you want there,
there?
Mike,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do we got? Like an avocado crema is the
yes,
side
yes,
dish.
It's a
side sauce?
chipotle avocado cream.
Wow, that's good. I'm just gonna dunk in. I'm gonna kind of go animal style here and forget with the forks.
Like I said, not standard racetrack fare.
No,
You know, I mean, it's
no.
this
You know,
is
with,
not your usual hot dog and a burger and a slice of pizza.
wow,
Although they
that
have
crema
that.
is good.
Yeah.
It's
which
got a
we
kick.
have.
Yeah,
That is very good. Livens up the grilled chicken, and the presentation absolutely beautiful. You got the kind of microgreens, the arugula spread out on a banana leaf at the bottom
Yes.
base. Yeah,
Yes.
that is great.
very
No.
nice looking
Yeah.
dish. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, our culinary team does a fantastic job in 10 Palms and our other. As the new menus are launched on Monday, we'll start bringing some items from some of the areas like Char 3, which is our southern barbecue restaurant that is opening on the first floor.
Oh wow,
And that opens, it's our partnership with Maker's Mark, and it opens on the first floor right on the walking ring area. And then on the third floor, we have our suites, our private suites, and we have a special menu for our suites. And in that space, in the Flamingo Room on the third floor. So
very
again,
nice.
there'll
Well-
be some menu items to taste off of there.
Now so the first floor right here next to the paddock area, that
Correct.
is like that's the barbecue place.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It sure is. Like
Okay.
a barbecue smokehouse location. So everything from your Brunswick stew to your
Is it brisket or pulled pork?
brisket, pulled
pulled pork
pork, which we smoke
sandwiches.
in-house, obviously, 5 to
Nice.
8 hours.
Nice.
So that's all on the menu as well.
I'm going
and-
in for bite two. That crema is so
Absolutely.
good. Did you try the
I did
sauce?
not. I'm
Okay.
going to give that a little shot
Here,
in a
go
minute.
there. Here,
Yeah,
get it, get it,
That's
get
all
it,
right.
get it, get it.
I'll get it.
All right,
Yeah,
he's
we're
got
good.
it. All right,
Enjoy.
all right.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
good.
to see people eat. I'm Italian. So
Well, then
please.
in that case, you're gonna love me because here we go.
And then I'm going to move on to the other item here that's also new. This is our turkey bacon melt.
Mm.
We get a lot of requests for more sandwiches on our menu. So as much as we will elevate in some areas, we also go back to some comfort here. So this is our turkey bacon melt with Havarti as the cheese,
Nice.
and then with tomato and avocado on there. So that'll also be a new item that we're starting on Monday as well in 10 Palms. And then
I'm going
the
in.
last item, obviously, big sellers, and we brought it down here. It's your fettuccine Alfredo with grilled
Alfredo
chicken.
with chicken. People.
So-
Oh, and it sounds like there's a race going off. Lubie, who won the second race? Does anybody have a result?
Favorite's going down in flames.
Who's the second? Or who's winning?
You
I
need
love
the
it.
one.
Huh?
The one. That's the horse.
The one is the winner? Nah.
Oh, no, the deuce is going to get up.
The deuce is going to get
Deuce
it.
with a
He's
moto.
giving me the live call here. Oh, and meanwhile, what a life. He's giving me the race call. Lubie's cutting me up some of the turkey belt here.
Yeah,
This looks
and
great,
his
too.
ex-wife still speaks to him.
And my ex-wife is not only still speaking to
And
me,
it's not about,
She's
various payments that are
cooking
overdue.
Christmas Eve dinner,
Wow.
Feast of the Seven Fishes. So that, I'm getting all excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this thing. man.
This
It fell
looks
apart.
great. So this is the turkey with Swiss
Wow,
cheese.
that is a
Yes,
substantial
it's a Havarti,
sandwich. man.
actually.
Oh,
Havarti.
Havarti. I like
So
it.
turkey bacon melt
Wow,
with
wow.
Havarti as the cheese, and of course tomato and avocado.
All right, I'm
round
going
it
to go
out.
in. This could get a little sloppy, but I'm going in. And Joe Beja.
That's fantastic, too.
This is good. Here we go.
Good stuff here at the track.
I got him.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think something's wrong with my jaw this week. It's not unhinging like it used to. I gotta go get that checked, but no, it's great. It's got the creaminess from the cheese and also the avocado. Nice fresh turkey. A little bit of mustard on there, I guess, or it gets a little sharpness. Beautiful. It's a lunch sandwich that will
Yeah.
definitely please, and that's what you got there at 10 Palms. Talk a little bit about the brunch buffet again that people are going to be competing to win the vouchers for, because you're going to have there. It's like the breakfast brunch omelet station stuff
Correct.
along with everything else.
Correct. We have breakfast items. Of course, we have an omelet chef that'll cook your eggs to order, not just omelets, but we could do some eggs to order as well. And then we do have the traditional breakfast items like home fries and bacon and sausage and French. And we'll put out blintzes and so forth, some other items out there. But then we segue into the lunch items. Obviously, we have about 3 to 4 proteins that we feature every week. Obviously, a chicken, a fish, a beef, pasta, obviously starch, and then of course some other starches and veggies. Those are all cafeteria style, for lack of a better term, but that's the way it is. But we also have a carving station that features prime rib, turkey, and ham every weekend. We have a seafood station that features peel and eat shrimp and crab legs. And then, of course, we have the salad station. We have a fully decorated pastry station, everything from croissants to donuts to Danish that we all do in-house as well.
And like I said, it opens when? Like at 11, a little bit before the races?
We open doors at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
The buffet opens at 11:30 and stays open till the last race.
Right, and that's the beauty part. It's not like some of these other brunch joints where they give you a 2-hour parking meter and the clock is ticking and they say you got to leave by such and such a point. This is an all-day affair if you want
Absolutely.
it to be. Yeah,
And they don't criticize people like Lubie took 50 cannolis one time. When the
That might
batch
give you a
came
little
out.
bit of a fish eye.
They
but,
don't even give him a look. They
Or,
don't
you
even give him a look.
or you could do like my mother does, and she arrives at like 11:30, and she starts off with breakfast.
Yeah.
And she'll stay and have lunch around 3, and make sure she gets dessert at 4:30.
That's what we were just talking about. But you encourage that here
My
because
mother,
you
milk
will,
it.
my mother will make two meals out of it.
And again,
Nice.
you could be watching the races and wagering a little bit if they're so inclined. And then also, you know, obviously the brunch buffet package ticket contest winner gets 1 mimosa included, but you're free to imbibe a little bit more if you want. And that'll be, you know, on your own dime if you win that. But they're happy to cover the tax tip, and the first mimosa is on the house here.
Correct.
It's a great prize, and we got to thank you again for
It's
coming
my
up with
pleasure.
this and
Yeah,
doing
wow,
some
that's
promotions and working with us here in the food world, and all of us here, South Florida
It's not
Live
like the dining
channels.
opportunities at Turf Paradise, I can assure you.
Oh, I'd never been to Turf Paradise, and
I have, unfortunately.
I'm not sure if it's exactly paradise when it comes to the culinary scene, but
Yeah.
not to denigrate anybody else. All I know is what I have in front of me, and I absolutely loved the stuff we had last week. I'm still talking about that deconstructed onion soup. The onion ring tower was great, and the new Reuben sandwich was terrific. I'm a sucker for pasta. I love the
You're gonna really
fettuccine
love that
Alfredo.
dish.
I'm not going to get down and dirty with that until I want to see if Joe maybe has an inkling. I'm going to give him the clues, and we're up to clue number 3 on this week's restaurant contest. And I'll recap the first 2 clues and then give the third out. And again, if you know the answer, or you think you know the answer, or you just want to guess at the answer, you send it along with a pick, the number between 1 and 16 for tomorrow's winner of the Janus Stakes, the 8th race on the card tomorrow at Gulfstream Park. And then send that to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. You got the hang of it last week. You guys, we had over 80 entries last week. We had 7 people who correctly answered both components. We had to do a 7-way shake to draw the winner out of a hat. We did that on Monday, and the winner was Ira Rubin. Congratulations to him. And he wants to come out here. I think he said January 15th. I sent the info along today, but we'll coordinate all that. Meanwhile, this week's clues, once again, this restaurant in the 305 was the first I awarded my top rating of 4 stars when I was the restaurant critic at the Sun Sentinel. And it was also nominated as a best new restaurant in America by the James Foundation in 2017.
All right,
That's
I
clue
had
number
Outback
1.
Steakhouse as one of the
That's not one of
considerations
the
there. And that
best
wasn't it.
new
Huh?
restaurants in
Okay.
America.
What do you think, Joe?
Number 2, its name and pronunciation can be confusing, but it is not an institution of higher learning in the Bluegrass State.
All right.
Its name and pronunciation can be confusing, but it is not an institution of higher learning in the state. And the third clue is it's the motto on its original menu was Asian-inspired, wood-fired. But the name also might, the way it's pronounced, might make you think that it's in Austin or the Carolinas. The
Any
actual
ideas? I have none.
pronunciation of the name might make you think you're in Austin or the Carolinas, although the motto of the restaurant is Asian-inspired, wood-fired, and they do wood-fired grilled items to perfection there. So, do you have any clue what this restaurant
Yes,
is?
I do.
You
Yeah,
do?
he
Okay.
knows.
I'm
Don't
gonna
say
not
it.
say it.
Wow.
I know what it is.
Mom's
though.
the word.
One
Have
of my
you been?
favorite. Yes.
Yes, it was one of mine too because I gave it
Absolutely.
4 stars. And
All right.
Absolutely.
they've gone through a couple different chefs. There's actually new ownership. They have some different outposts now. That'll be clue number 4. But they, well, let's
You may
just,
as well throw
just
it out there.
unload it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the other
Joe got it. How
This-
many clues did it take? 2?
Took me to the third.
Third.
Okay.
Okay.
Took me to the third.
And it is also now they have expanded. They have outposts in Mexico City and New York City, along with Miami, and a certain
these two
trendy
guys, huh?
Wynwood
Dave
next to
Joseph
some
Larry.
wall. So, if you know it, send in that name. You got to spell the name of the restaurant correctly, along with a number between 1 and 16.
Spelling counts?
Yeah, spelling.
All right.
counts. This is I'm a stickler. This is like Jeopardy.
Wow.
You know, you gotta.
You
have
are
the
not an easy
correct-
guy to win a gift certificate on.
Oh, well, you know,
Unbelievable.
apparently it's enough people out there know what they're doing, because if 7 people ended up having correct answers and
Yep.
selections last week,
And Joe may be a better handicapper being around all
we're
these horse
dealing
people
with
all
a
day.
very sharp
So
crowd.
he might have a big
Defo.
edge here to win this one.
We are dealing with a sharper crowd than I don't know. I mean, I give them credit. You know, I never denigrate my audience, because they're great. They're watching us, and they're watching us enjoy ourselves at Gulfstream Park. Hey, Joe, thanks so much
Thanks,
for
man.
coming
This is
out
all
My
again.
pleasure.
I'm going to dig in to the plate of the. Is it kind of a fettuccine?
That's you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Fettuccine,
very nice.
Fettuccine Alfredo, grilled chicken.
I was thinking carbonara, but no, it's Alfredo.
Yep.
And I'm going to get in there. And first, we got to give in the good words for our friends at the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. That's coming up right after the holidays, January 9th through the 15th, all over Greater Fort Lauderdale. And it makes the perfect stocking stuffer for the foodie in your life, because all the kinds of events that are coming up, they're going to have some intimate dinners at some of our favorite restaurants around town, like Heritage and the Catherine, and our friend Paula De Silva over at Burlock Coast, using that she's going to have some people, including our friends Brad and Dave from Even Keel Fish Shack. Those are the intimate dinners. They are going to be having all multi-course meals paired with great wines, and all the kind of the benefit. It helps benefit the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital as the proceeds from the entire week. And then there's the big 3 events, which is the cocktail competition on Wednesday night, January 11th, the Smithfield Barbecue Battle up at the Hyatt Centric Hotel on the night of Friday the 13th. Defo's going to be there. Lubie's going to be there. I'm going to be there judging, and I hope my jaw is back in shape.
Gulfstream ought to have an entry in here.
And
with the new
yeah, we
place.
could get them aligned with our friends Kate and Phil, and get a Gulfstream entry with the new Smokehouse. Might have to talk to have a little bit of a networking session, but that's Smithfield Barbecue Battle on the 13th, and then on Saturday the 14th, the grand tasting down at that Las Olas Beachfront Park, right at the corner of A1A Las Olas Boulevard, and lots of different restaurants, tasty bites, along with sips from major wineries around the country, along with distilleries around the region. It's going to be a great time. Go on to the vlfoodwine.com website. That's vfoodwine.com. Check all the events, buy your tickets, and use the promo code Lunchbox for an extra 15% off the already low prices for those big 3 events. Go there, vlfoodwine.com. We'll see you there in the middle of January.
All right. Hopefully we can find some winners here. So far, is there a charge to be buried and have your ashes spread at the 16th pole?
Where all your
all my horses have checked out, unfortunately,
I
today.
got half the early
So
double.
we're
I'm
having a great day, though. Thank you so much. This
My
got me over that brutal photo we lost at Tampa Bay
Still don't know how that
to start
happened.
the day. Yeah,
Still
thank you
don't
very
know how
much.
that
It's
happened,
fantastic,
but
Joe.
my
Always good
pleasure.
seeing you.
Joe, always good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Same
Happy
to you.
holidays.
Always a
Same to
pleasure, my
you.
friend.
And,
Happy
thank you
holidays.
very much.
We'll do it again next week for New Year's. Next week, it's going to be New Year's Eve on Saturday night. I know there's all kinds of stuff happening around
we are.
Gulfstream. So
We do.
we'll talk about that next week. First things first, we'll get through Festivus, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and Kwanzaa. Wow, the holidays. It's just a never-ending festival. And this is the best place to be during this. All right, we'll be back to wrap up another week of the Lunchbox after these words. Thank you.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back. Here I am eating. What a surprise. It's an upset.
You always end up at, now this isn't your fault so much today because we had one plate there and a lot of different things, but it always looks like the child's throwaway plate. You know, when the waitress comes to clear,
like
are you
the
finished?
edges of
When it comes to eating neatly, I'm no Neki Mohan. That's
Yeah.
for
No,
sure.
you are not.
She
You're
is
not Neki
incredible because
she's great.
she
She'll eat like
manages
this
to pull it off.
And she
and
can talk
converse and
while
interview.
eating. Yeah.
Dexterity,
And
a
be on
plum class, and me, I'm just a
You're
mess.
not the worst, though. Harvey Fialkoff, one of your former contemporaries, was scary when he would be eating while we were doing shows here at Gulfstream Park in the early morning. And, you know, they would have these 2-for-1 deals sometimes at Burger King or whatever. And, you know, so you're getting like 2 breakfast sandwiches on croissants. So, you know, I would just get the second to whoever was hungry. And if it was Fialkoff, you really had to wear a shield. This was before COVID. To sit
I hear that
anywhere
he's
in the vicinity.
I hear you might be having dinner with him tomorrow night. I hear he
Oh,
might
is he
be on the
coming on a
guest
Joe
list.
Casal special?
I
Good,
think
man.
he is. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Casal really gets into his
so
cooking.
wear a shield.
Yeah, that's
Well, you know, Harvey's the type of guy that will step right on my broken toe. Not meaning to.
Not on purpose.
Not meaning to.
Oh,
He's not a jerk. No, he's a good dude.
But he's the
just all
kind of
over
guy
the
that'll be
place.
standing on your
klutzy.
foot while you're standing there like this.
It's not even klutzy, he's just passionate.
Oh,
Like, he
okay.
gets
All right, let's
really
get some
into
winners,
it.
Mike.
Oh,
Mayo.
so,
there
well,
another hint? Is there one
that
more
I
hint?
can't help you. I can help the people out there. Again, enter our contest. Send your answers to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday. That's the deadline. I'll post all the clues on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group a little bit later this afternoon. And again, it's a restaurant in the 305 awarded, the first one awarded perfect 4 stars by me when I was the critic, nominated as best new restaurant in America by the James Beard Foundation. It's named.
Who do you think they were more impressed with? You with the 4 stars or Beard?
They like the fact. They like the fact that I came in from
nice.
parts north and was really impressed with them.
Oh, very good. Okay.
The chef owners
been
at the
back there?
time, a guy named Michael Lewis, was really they were really gracious
Yeah.
about it. And
Have you
they-
gone back?
Oh, I've gone back several times,
Okay,
but there's
all right.
been some ownership changes and chef changes, but they still do a high quality job.
All right.
Again, its name and pronunciation a little bit confusing, but it's not an institution of higher learning in the Commonwealth of Kentucky or the Bluegrass State, and it's the motto is Asian inspired, wood fired. But it does have smoke and grill, and the name also. The pronunciation, you're not in Austin, you're not in the Carolinas. And I forgot even what the last clue was. But
The last clue is you have to pick the winning horse at a feature race tomorrow
that
to
too.
win the ticket.
Between
Yeah.
1 and 16.
Yeah.
So send that in. All right, let's real quickly some Festivus.
Celebration, my friend.
No, you
I have no
you
grievances
are all
to complain
being taking Mr. Political, not getting
I
negative
don't
at
have
all.
I'm
any
not
on
mad
Festivus.
about it.
What do you have any grievances?
Mundo Home sucks, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's a never-ending process.
Money pit,
And
homeowner.
it's not a money pit because I'm hoping it'll be worthwhile financially, but it's never-ending money. Every day there's something to spend money on and do. So the only grievance I have is moving sucks, and good luck
Right.
to you, those who have to move.
And what about dealing with contractors? Have they been okay?
Okay.
All right, there's a grievance. It's
I'll
too
leave
long.
it
We only
alone.
got
Yeah,
2
leave
minutes
it alone.
left. All
I'll
right.
leave it alone.
And
Your turn.
What are you gonna cry about?
And then I'll get my list after I have to do the last live spot of the day. Is Greater Fort Lauderdale welcomes everyone under the sun. We had such a great time with Neki. Yeah, yesterday we concluded the 2022 edition of the Visit Lauderdale series on the Lunchbox, where we go out and feature all the different cuisines in Greater Fort Lauderdale. And it really is everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun. And that's why all you foodies out there, tell your friends, tell your frenemies, if they're out of town, if they're freezing their tuchus off, they should get on a plane, come down to Greater Fort Lauderdale, especially the culinary explorers and the cocktail connoisseurs, and even the craft beer aficionados. There's so many great breweries in town. Come one, come all. Get ready to savor every flavor, every moment. We've got it all down here. There is more than 4,000 restaurants in the area, more than 75 different types of cuisines, nationalities. Every one of them is almost represented, and we've got great dining along the waterfront, whether it's the Intracoastal or the beach. We've got lively cafes along Las Olas, like we saw yesterday.
Yep.
We've got award-winning chefs like Tim and Blue at the Catherine serving up all kinds of inventive flavors. So come on out. It's a never-ending culinary celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Everyone's invited. And to go and get the latest in terms of the events, the deals, the promotions,
website's great.
go to visitlauderdale.com. That's visitlauderdale.com. All right. My laundry list of you know what? It's too long. I'll put some of them on the
You got
website.
like an Oscar
I've
speech
got
there where you have to thank like
$5 seltzers,
Yeah.
$6 eggs. When the servers whisk away my plate before I'm done eating, like this. If somebody came along and said, "Oh, can I
See,
take?"
now I would
I'd say,
take that because
I
it
was
looks
about to
like
take it. It
scraps.
looks like
Yeah.
garbage.
Okay, and this is what I said on the website today. My fork is not. You're supposed to. The signal that it's done is when you place your fork and knife, your silver, in the 4:20 position, like 4:20 p.m. and not
How
time
about if they
to
just
eat.
take the plate and tell you
Like
you've had enough?
Yeah,
Looks like you've had
sometimes they're giving me a hint, but
Yeah.
that's one of my things. Another one is, well, let's see. I'm not even gonna go there. Now, like you know, if you go on vacation, maybe give 2 days
Paid a
notice.
grape. I mean, you're having
gonna
to
bitch
come
about
up with
you.
stuff to
when
gripe
when
about.
Lubie goes on, tells me leaving on a Wednesday, and then all of a sudden it's a Tuesday. But
Yeah,
I love
right.
you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves a vacation except me, because that's no longer part of my existence. That's okay.
You'll be fine.
You'll get a
When I have
You'll be fine.
time.
We have to get you a vacation.
That's
Whining,
why I'm
bitching.
grumpy,
Yes.
whining. That's why Festivus is my
It's perfect for you,
holiday.
yeah, because you can be miserable and everybody else is with you. Yeah,
But
right.
I tried to give you a winner. I told you to
Oh
bet
no,
win
I
place.
have no complaint about that horse. The horse looked like he won. How can you complain?
I'm still astounded.
I don't know what the odds were
welcome to
when
my
he went
world.
off, but you know,
Welcome to
he ran a
my
very
world.
credible race.
Defo, thanks so much.
Always a
Merry
pleasure, my
Christmas.
friend. Yeah.
We're good.
Merry Christmas.
Lubie, peace on
We
earth.
love you. Happy
Goodwill
Hanukkah,
towards
everyone.
See you
everybody.
guys come out
Enjoy
to the
your
track and
holidays.
eat.
Come to Gulfstream.
Come to Gulfstream, enter the contest. We'll see you on Boxing Day, Monday. We will be doing a show, even though it is kind of a bank holiday. We'll be here eating and picking the contest winner. We will let you know who won. Enter now. MikeMayoEats@gmail.com.
And don't forget.
Oh, and don't forget, come to 10 Palms. Come to Gulfstream Park. Eat all the new
You
menu
forgot
items.
your tagline. You
I
forgot
was
your
trying
outline.
to
Oh.
point out what this is.
You're so far gone that
So
you
far
forgot
gone.
your classic
Amazing.
signature.
I
So
pointed out
long
a
from the
sandwich.
sunshine.
Enjoy every
State.
losing double and enjoy every sandwich.
You got a great sandwich.
Thank you.
Trying to breathe.